And now, last week was, I don't know, how do you get into material about the election? Do you go, did anyone notice that election? that election that they had. It's all worked out weird, isn't it? I saw the news tonight before it came out, and it was the first speech that Clegg and Cameron have done together. And it was a very odd thing to do. They were sort of, hadn't really thought about how they were going to do it. Cameron did his little bit, whilst Clegg sort of looked at him, and then he did his little bit. And it's a very uncomfortable, strange thing. It was sort of like a weird puppet show or something. It was like Rainbow, but with no George and no Bungle and 2 Zippies. And they need to think about this. It's very hard to work out how 2 people talking about something at the same time. I used to be in a comedy double act, and I know I could tell them immediately what they're doing wrong. You have to kind of chip in and make it feel like a conversation, and there also needs to be some, for a double act to work, which is essentially what they're going to be now, there needs to be some sort of power structure relationship between the 2 people. They need to be different in some way and complement each other, and being the same but having different coloured ties. To view them as needing to have the dynamic of a double act, they're one of the worst double acts ever. It's a bit like we've all gone to sleep and woken up and the country's been governed by Punt and Dennis. And politicians should look at comedians, because there's a lot they could learn from comedians. Comedians are good communicators. The worst comedian will be a better salesman for a political party than the average politician. Joe Pasquale would be a better front person for the Conservatives than David Cameron. And he would have no qualms about passing off Liberal policies as his own. But another funny thing about that is that despite the sort of weight of investment and the collapse of the confidence in the Labour Party and all the fact that 90% of the media were explicitly biased in their favour, the Tories still couldn't quite get a majority. And I sort of found myself feeling sorry for David Cameron almost. He was, because he's sort of been bred for power from an early age, and it must be strange to have not quite achieved it legitimately. He went to Eton. He was in a secret society at Oxford University called the Bullingdon Club, which was all Etonians. They had secret dinners and dressed up in blue suits and robes and carved up the future, I think. And it's sort of weird to have had all that and had it all decided. There's kind of people who used to like smash restaurants to bits and as students and then chuck 200 quid cash at the waiter on the way out, and now they're in charge of you. But you also kind of slightly feel sorry for those people as well, because most of us when we're teenagers, life's a big sort of adventure for us. You think, what's going to happen to me? But they all sort of knew that they'd be in power, almost. I mean, it's a bit weird having been bred for power and then not quite making power and needing help from the Liberal Democrats to do. A bit like being a bloodhound and being bred to hunt foxes, but only being able to catch a fox with the assistance of a chihuahua. Anyway, I found myself thinking about the Bullingdon Club, which Cameron was in, and George Osborne in Oxford in the mid-80s, and all the other Etonians that now comprised the cabinet and their supporters, and wondering what it would be like to be 18 and to be like that. And on the way down to Norwich last week, I wrote a song about. I've never written a comedy song before, but this is about being in the Bullingdon Club 20 odd years ago. Tonight I'll dress in blue, and you you will dress in blue too. I carve the pheasant as I sit across from you. Talk about all the wonderful things that we will do. I'm youthful, I'm beautiful, I'm wealthy and I'm smart. Make me the mistress of your heart. You're youthful, you're beautiful, you're wealthy and you're smart. I'm gonna make you the mistress of my heart tonight. Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club tonight. Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club. The future's already ours. Nothing is beyond our powers. Ennobled but only 19, and I'm swimming like a salmon in the stream. I promise I'll call you up in a decade or 3 and invite you to hold on to the reins with me. You're youthful, you're beautiful, you're wealthy and you're smart. Make me the mistress of your heart. You're beautiful, you're youthful, wealthy and you're smart. I'm gonna make you mistress of my heart tonight. Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club tonight. Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club. There aren't any women. It doesn't matter. We can hire some in. Were you partial to the dark meat? Were you partial to the dark meat, boys? Were you partial to the dark meat? Were you partial to the dark meat, George? Were you partial to the dark meat? Were you partial to the dark meat, Dave? Were you partial to the dark meat in your salad days tonight? Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club tonight. Let's all make love in the Bullingdon Club. The future's already ours. Nothing is beyond our powers. Thank you very much. I think the first 1980s comedian still around to say, kick out the toilet.